I will possess what I confess. I feel like running up in here. That's why I wore my gym shoes. I will confess what I possess. I will confess what I possess. And when you get this in your spirit, I will possess what I confess. I will possess what I confess. Once I understand what God said and I say what he says, the reason why he gave it to me to say is because he wants me to have it. The reason why he put it in his word is because he made a promise to me. But the law is that I must say it I must believe it, and then I must speak it. And when I believe it and I speak it, then I see it. When I believe it, no. And so I come into agreement and I come into alignment, and this is always our greatest test, because this is where you discover that all the time your miracle is in your mouth. Oh God. All the time. I keep telling you, miracles are in the instructions. Every miracle, when Jesus worked a miracle in the Bible, he gave an instruction. And when they heard the instruction, they believed what he said, and the miracle manifests because of the instruction. Just like that happened with him, your miracle might be in your mouth. Maybe you have more of what you're saying because you keep saying more of what you have. And instead of having more of what you want, you just keep saying what you already have. And when you have more of what you already have, you just keep having more. If you start saying what God says, then you'll change what it is that you get. So the greatest mistake that we often make is with our words, right? The greatest mistake is what we make is with our words. Let's look at this centurion in Matthew, the 8th chapter. Great picture of this happening. So the centurion in Matthew, the 8th chapter and the 5th verse says that when he had entered, talking about Jesus, into Capernaum, a centurion came forth to him, approaching to him, Lord, my servant is lying paralyzed at home, suffering terribly, right? He gave him the situation. He said, my servant is lying at home, paralyzed, suffering terribly. He was not in denial. He did not lie about the condition, but he didn't rehearse the condition. He just said, here's the situation, right? Here's what I want you to know. And he said, and Jesus said unto him, I will come and heal him. Oh God, I will come and heal him. I love how Jesus taught. Let me ascertain the situation. He didn't ask 3 more questions. He didn't say, well, let me see, is he saved? Do he go to church? What church he go to? Who is pastor? He didn't ask no religious foolishness, right? He just said, somebody's sick, I'm going to come and make him better. Anybody thankful for a God that want to come and make you better? Somebody ought to tell the Lord, thank you that you want to make me better. Thank you that you want to make me better. He says, I will come and I will heal him. Look at what the centurion replied. The centurion replied, Lord, I am not worthy that you should come under my roof, but only say the word, and my servant will be healed. Now, he just said, my servant is sick and paralyzed. Jesus said, expressed, this is my will. I want him healed, right? The word. Jesus said something. He didn't just start walking and didn't say nothing. You see that? He says, I will come and heal him. The centurion said, wait, you ain't coming to my house. I ain't washed up. My clothes is all over the place. No, I'm just playing. That's your house. No, I'm just playing, right? He said, no. You're not worthy to come under my roof. He said, instead, he said, say the word and my servant will be healed. My servant is at home. I'm here. He's in a condition. You want to come. I'm not letting you come, but if you say something, it'll change something. Oh, God, I wish I had somebody just bold enough to open up your mouth and say something right now. Just say something. Say something. He says, if you say it, my servant going to be healed. He didn't say my servant might be healed. Faith is your present connection to your future potential because it converts heavenly provisions into earthly supply. He says, say something and he will be healed. If you say it, it'll change his situation. He paralyzed. He ain't moved. He's stuck. He been in the same place all year. He hasn't been able to get out of this rut. He hasn't been able to shift his paradigm. He hasn't been able to change his dynamic. But if you just say one word, that's why the enemy don't make you sleepy until the preaching come. You've been up all morning running around. Now your preaching come. You start dozing. Because if you get a word from God, it might just shift your old paralyzed self up out of your lazy condition. If you get a word from God, you might get off welfare and go get a job. If you hear a word from God, you might drop out of that foolishness and go sign up for school. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying. Somebody that ever had a word from God, I dare you to throw your hands up and shout, because his word will change. One word will. Oh, God, nudge your neighbor. Tell him, speak that word. Speak that word. Speak that word. Call it what you want. Call it what you want. I'm about to run up out of here. He says, if you say one word, it'll change everything. One word can make me go from on my way to hell to on my way to heaven. One word will change my money, God. If you say one word, if you say it, one word will shift my position. Any word lovers in here, I don't care what nobody say. God's word is the truth. It's the same yesterday and forevermore. It shall not crumble or fail. One word. He said, don't come to my house. You don't have to move. Just come and send your words. He says, because look why he said it. He said, for I too am a man under authority. And when soldiers under me, he says, I say to one, go, and he goes. And I say to another, come, and he comes. And my servant, do this, and he does it. He says, so when Jesus heard this, Jesus said, what? You mean to tell me you're not trying to work me? I ain't seen nothing like this. Everybody everywhere, come Jesus. Come here, Jesus. Come here, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Jesus in the midnight hour. Jesus in the middle of the night. Jesus, I need a pair of shoes. Jesus, I need a new weave. Jesus, I need another job. Jesus, I need a man. Jesus, I need a woman. Jesus, take that one back. Give me another one. Lord Jesus. People pray about everything. Jesus said, for the first time, you're not trying to get me to move. You mean to tell me you got the unmitigated gall to just take me at my word? You mean to tell me you saying, Jesus, stay on the throne. I got this one. I'm going to look up what you said about my sickness, and I'm going to declare that I'm healed. I'm going to lay hands on myself because you already said it. You ain't got to do nothing. I got this. My God.